Hey y'all, Yuritsa here with yet another tarot unboxing video. Today we're looking at the Deviant Moon Tarot by Patrick Valenza. I went a little overboard and also purchased like a separate guidebook for it that is huge and hardcover, and I am super extra, so I got myself a signed copy. We'll take a look at that in a moment, but yeah, this is basically, as far as the tarot deck, what I got when I opened the packaging. It came with a couple extra cards here. Looks like an oracle deck type of thing, Lover's Spat. It's got this back. I'm assuming, because the art style is kind of similar, that it's maybe from the same artist and author. And then I've got this little one as well, which I'm kind of assuming the same thing, that it's either same publisher, same artist, and then what looks like the Ace of Wands with that nice little card back. So those are just some kind of bonus things that came with the deck when I received it that I wanted to show you guys. Anyway, so on to the deck itself. I went with the borderless edition because it just looks nicer. In my opinion, a lot of the times I think borderless is preferable to border, depending, but usually. So it's in this little tuck box. It's a US Games production, or I'm forgetting the word. It's published by US Games. Let's see, it says, stylized characters and moonlit dreamscapes draw you into the luminescent world of Deviant Moon Tarot. This special borderless edition highlights Patrick Valenza's stunning artwork and allows readers to connect more deeply with the evocative tarot imagery. And as I'm sure you can already tell from these brief glimpses that we're getting here, it's definitely a darker, weirder deck, and I like that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and pop this bad boy open. I'm gonna take these cards out of their plastic and we'll take a look. Okay, so this is what we get out of the box. The cards are a lot longer than I was expecting. We have, so I knew that this deck had a separate guidebook, which again is huge. It's like at least an inch thick, but it's nice to know that it also comes with this little white booklet. So we'll take a brief look at that as well after the card flip through. And then you can see definitely as skinny as a typical tarot deck, but longer, which is different for me. I'll see how it goes. And then this nice, simple kind of lunar card back. So before we actually get into the cards, we've got, you know, that kind of cover card, Deviant Moon Borderless Edition, and then it looks like a little advertisement for, so this is the guidebook that I purchased that comes separately. So those are on top of the deck, and now we're gonna take a look at the cards themselves. I'm so excited. So we have the Fool, the Magician, and you can already see just kind of how different this deck is. I feel like it's definitely kind of polarizing. You know, if you're into oddities and weird things and Halloween is your favorite, then I feel like you're more likely to be drawn to this imagery. Wow. But it's not for everyone. It's definitely different, which I love. I like that they're all on this like chessboard ground. They're also creepy and weird looking, and I love it. I like that there's a moon in a different phase in the background of all of these. And this head by itself is the Chariot. I'm definitely going to be using this a lot in October. I can already tell. strength. Yeah, it's such a different art style than what I'm used to seeing, and I really, really enjoy it. Feels very liminal, which I'm into. Oh, that's interesting. So far, obviously, all of the major arcana have been named, but death has no name, death needs no name. And I really like the kind of pregnant belly in that too, evoking the rebirth aspect of death. I really like that. I like how with Temperance, instead of having a moon in the background, she is the moon. It's a little more evocative of traditional imagery in some of these. Sorry if you hear any weird background noises. My house likes to do that. Just make sounds. Oh, I like the puppeteering in that. Yeah, again, I know already that these cards are not going to be for everyone, but these are right up my freaking alley. Awesome. So let's get into, it looks like we're starting with the courts and moving backwards. So King of Swords. I like the steampunk robot thing going on with his face there. Let's see, Ten of Swords. Woo! It's a pretty good Ten of Swords. I like the aspect of it being trapped as well. Let's see, 9. There's so much going on in all of these. It's like it's burning behind, not ahead. I'm loving this deck. And I like how still, even in these minors, there's that moon in the background. Makes sense, Deviant Moon Tarot. And she's got a third leg, too. Oh, I really like that. That's awesome. All right, and that brings us to the end of the sword. So let's see, Wands are next. I really like how the deck uses and undermines gender in it, in the subjects. A bug person flying a bug. Nine of Wands. I love these moon faces that they have. Something about this card reminds me of Thumbelina. In a darker way, of course, but... yeah, I love these so much. I'm like in awe. Getting to the last of the wands here. Awesome. Very earthy in a lot of those. Right, and then cups is next. So much more colorful. I guess not more colorful, but more brightly colored. Makes sense for the cups. I love that weird mermaid man. Or woman. Mer thing. Mermoon. Awesome. I've got the 10 of Cups. I love that. Little moon genie for the wish card. I really like her posture and stance in that. Nice. Yeah, there's so much going on. There's honestly, I feel like more going on in the minor arcana cards than the majors, which I really like. Let's see, 5 of Cups. Wow. I really, really, really like that interpretation of the card a lot. Y'all, I'm so excited for this. Oh my god, this card followed me for a really long time. It still pops up a little more often than others, but I think I finally healed what it was telling me to. But this is probably the best depiction of it for my experience with it that I've seen. I really, really like that. And as a very logically, rationally oriented person naturally, I don't usually connect with the cup imagery as much as the rest, but honestly, this might be my favorite cup suit of a deck ever. God, I really, really, really love this. It's so beautiful. And that should take us to our last suit of pentacles. I really like the added steampunk kind of funky thing going on in that. It's beautiful. That's a very interesting image. And you know what? I really love that. Because all the majors were sitting on this chessboard, and that looks like it could be the tower to me. I wonder how many of those are kind of reflected in the majors and that figure holding the table up. There's really just so much going on in all of these that I'm excited to do some single card draws and really dive into the imagery. 8 of Pentacles is another card that follows me around, and I really like this depiction of it also. I'm so fascinated. I can't even express it. God, I love that. That withholding, giving. Oh man, every time I look at these, my eye is drawn to something different than it was a moment before. I am so enthralled by this deck. I love that. All kind of working on each other to make each other better, maybe. It's beautiful. And this is our last card. Ace of Pentacles. Awesome. I seriously freaking love this deck. I'm gonna try and do a little bit of shuffling on screen. It's gonna take me a second to get used to how much taller and skinnier these cards are than what I'm used to, but already easier to shuffle than I thought it was gonna be in my tiny little hands. They move really easily against each other. They're not quite matte, but they're not super glossy either. I'm really scared to riffle shuffle these. Oh, I was going to. I know I always riffle shuffle them for you. I'm gonna skip that because I'm not a very good riffle shuffler, and because they're so long and skinny, I'm really worried I'm gonna bend them, to be honest. So I'm not gonna do that. Sorry. Again, you can see they move. They feel really good against each other, but I really don't want to risk damaging them because, again, tall and skinny, and they're not super flimsy, but they're not like sturdy enough to handle my inexperienced riffle shuffling skills. So I'm gonna do a little more shuffling off screen, and then we're gonna pull a card to represent how kind of my relationship with this deck is starting out. And then I want to take a look at the little white book that it came with, in case you don't want to go for the guidebook. It's not cheap, but again, it's huge. But I do want to show you guys at least a little bit of that as well. So stick around if you're into that. I will be back in just a second for you. All right, we are decently shuffled up here. Eight of Wands. It's not a card that I have a very deep relationship with. I don't draw wands in general as often as the other suits, and definitely the Eight of Wands is not one that comes up for me personally very often. So let's take a look at what the little white guidebook has to say on that first. This is the one that comes with the deck. Oh, look at that. Opens right up to the page. A peasant woman prepares to rid her land of the wands growing in the field. An eighth wand serves as a scythe as she readies to cut them all down with a single stroke. Above her, a black crow flies into the scene with important news. Upright meanings, quick actions, decisions made in haste, delivery of important news, voyage by air. Reversed meanings, stagnation in life, domestic woes, envy, jealousy. Cool. So I'm gonna kind of reposition my camera because let me give you an idea. This book is huge and my setup is super amateur. So I'm gonna rig something up really quickly and then we'll dive into this big bad boy. All right, here we are. I know this is not the best setup, but it is the best that I can do, and if I waited around for things to be perfect before I started on them, I would never get anything done, as much as my perfectionism brain would love to do that. So yeah, this is the book. It is huge, 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 huge. I can't quite see the camera the way that I'm filming this. So I'm gonna try my best to keep everything in frame. Let's take a look at the back. Talented artist Patrick Valenza presents evocative tarot images inspired by his childhood dreams and visions. This richly illustrated book takes you behind the moonlit scenes of Deviant Moon to glimpse the creative inspiration and artistic process that gave rise to this extraordinary tarot deck. In his companion book, Patrick also shares his unique tarot interpretations that will take your readings to a whole new level. And then we've got some testimonials there that I'm not going to read, but I really like this as a person who identifies as being pretty creative. It's really awesome to get to see the reasons behind the choices with this kind of stuff. So we're just gonna flip through the first few pages. This inside cover is awesome. I love this. Creepy and weird, just like I like. And then, oh, some more goodies. Looks like maybe from another tarot or oracle deck. So let's see if I can get that up there. The Factory and Secrets. Oh, there's the flip side. That's awesome. I hope you guys can see that. That's super cool. I was not expecting that. I'll have to look into that later. And then this is my signed copy with little moon doodle that I am extra and requested, because that's an option when you are buying from the website. Yeah, it already feels worth it. Let's see, table of contents. So acknowledgements and dedications, preface, a lifelong journey, sumptuous illuminations, rise of the Deviant Moon, creating the deck, photographic sources, Boogeyman Island, confronting nightmares, using this book, major arcana, minor arcana. To give you an idea of the size of each of these, in case you can't read the page numbers, everything up through before we get into the actual major and minor, major arcana starts on page 31, so they all look relatively short. And then minor arcana starts on page 111. And there's over 300 pages in the book, so that's a lot of information, and I'm super excited. So I'm just gonna do a quick flip through of these first few pages. So you can get an idea. Wow, this is awesome. I love seeing where this stuff is coming from. This is beautiful. I'm so excited to read this. So we get into the majors. So I am gonna see if I can find the Eight of Wands. Oh, there's Wands. Yeah, so this is the card that I had drawn for my relationship with this deck. Ooh, cracking that spine. Yeah, let's go through it. I hope you don't mind me reading this out to you. Eight of Wands. A peasant woman prepares to get rid of her land of 7 wands growing in the field. She believes that if she fails to move quickly, the cluster will multiply and overrun the land. The intrusive wands stand defiantly against the will of the peasant. Each bears a clean cut mark on top, evidence that someone once attempted to hack them down in the past, but was unable to stop them from growing back again. The determined peasant fixes her gaze on the stubborn wands, vowing to do everything in her power to put a permanent end to this nuisance. An 8th wand serves as a scythe as she readies to cut them all down with a single stroke. A black crow flies swiftly into the scene, carrying a handwritten letter in its beak. This might be an omen, warning the peasant not to be impulsive, for the action she's about to take will have unforeseen and irreversible consequences. Although the wands disgust and enrage the peasant's sensibilities, they may be providing her with an undiscovered benefit. The letter will likely affect the outcome of this situation if she receives it before swinging her mighty blade. I really like the story in that. All right, upright meanings. The 8 of Wands illustrates a moment in your life when you may be acting in haste. This could be because you're anxious to get started on a project or wish to get something unpleasant with over as quickly as possible. Regardless of your situation, you may want to stop and reconsider your current course of action. Do not do something you might regret. Be sure to get all the facts before making an important decision. In this card, the wheat field could represent one's fertile mind. The wands may then symbolize unwelcome thoughts or emotions that keep popping up despite attempts to wipe them out. Do not despair. New insights will come to change your perception of this growing problem for the better. The 8 of Wands might also signify the urgency to eliminate bad habits. It is time to be strong and take control of your life. Do not hesitate or let anything prevent you from slashing your negative behaviors down to size. Finally, the Eight of Wands could be a symbolic expression of hate and anger. Beware. This woman's formidable energy is poised to destroy something out of spite, jealousy, or envy. Reversed meanings. In a reversed position, the Eight of Wands represents a period of stagnation in your work. Outside distractions prevent or delay you from completing your tasks. Despite the frustration, it is crucial for you to concentrate on the job at hand. If you truly want to realize your dreams, you must keep your mind focused and ignore all interruptions. Additionally, you may be unconsciously sabotaging your own efforts. Besides an external influence, the black crow in this card could also symbolize an internal hindrance, such as procrastination, resistance, or self-doubt. Now is the perfect time to look within and strike down any character trait that stops you from taking action on your plans. Do not wait any longer. I really like this as my relationship to the card with as the card to represent my relationship with the deck, because I really want to like jump in and just start using it. And I feel like it's, you know, I did get this guidebook and it has already a lot of insight about the artistry and some kind of different interpretations than I usually take. So I feel like it's advising me, at least until I develop a better relationship with it. It might be worth going to the book for each reading just to get a little extra insight. You know, slow down, take my time, don't rush my relationship with this deck as I tend to do. So some of these images here, let's see, a rough sketch of the image from 2007. Swampy grassland background photo. So that's cool. I guess that's a photo reference for that wheat field / grass in the background. Medieval peasant plowing the field. Another sketch by that artist. And then, yeah, that's it for the Eight of Wands, which is still, I mean, a lot. I really, really like that kind of extra stuff there. And I am super, super excited to get to know this deck a little further. So I'm going to just flip to a couple random pages here just to give you a general idea. But yeah, I'm super, super excited to get to know this deck better. I hope you guys enjoyed. If there are any decks you have your eye on, let me know. I'd probably be more than willing to take a look at them for you and show you what's up. But other than that, I love you guys so much. Your support means the world to me, and I will see you next time.